Hey everybody, welcome back. So I came down, had to clean this girl's enclosure, and had her out, playing with her a little bit. What are you doing, crazy? Come on, work with me here. But started thinking about some things. A lot of stuff's been going on lately, and I think there's some angles to the situation, some things that nobody's really talking about. So we're going to talk about them today on Intrepid Exotics. Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Alright guys, so you'll have to bear with me. It's warm down here. Wrestling this little overgrown corn snake right here, he'll always wear you out. But one thing you guys will notice, for anybody that's got a bad impression of reticulated pythons, think they're stone cold killers, keep an eye on her throughout this video. I'm making her fairly uncomfortable. She wants to get out and roam around. Doesn't necessarily want to stay up here, but she's got to. There's too much stuff for her to get into right here. So watch her demeanor. Watch how many times she tries to bite me, tries to attack me, tries to eat me, tries to size me up. These guys get such a bad rap. This girl is freaking amazing. She's a great snake. She's a great friend. But it's not really what we're talking about today. Been a lot happening over the last couple months. Reptile community really came together when the Florida Fish and Wildlife went in and killed 34 animals, along with that pregnant boa. Outrage. Everybody was just up in arms. Whole community's banding together. We gotta fight these guys. That was a good thing. Us all coming together. Again, you have to excuse me. I'm not cutting all this stuff out. It's just hot down here. She's heavy, so I'm gonna sweat. It happens. I'm not the stud I used to be. But get back up here, you. So, right on the heels of that, community comes together. We have success in that. You know, we get the whitelist issue dropped down there. Get a lot more support globally for USARK Florida, USARK, getting a lot of awareness. Now, right on the heels of that, we have the incident with Slither. Now, this isn't something that happened overnight. It's been a long time coming. And you guys may have seen the video that I had put out on it not too long ago. And I've been really pleased at the community because the feedback that I've gotten on that has been positive. And I really appreciate that. Like I said, you know, the subscribers for this channel, got a lot of great people on here. A lot of people that really care about the animals. And that's kind of why I've got her out right now. Because this snake right here, this pretty girl who's all over the place, wants to just run around the reptile room and raise hell. And there you go, say hi. Guys, this is what it's about, man. This animal right here. It's not about personal grievances. It's not about what person did what to you 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I mean, the reptile community, guys, we're not all that big. It's a small community compared to some of the other ones that are out there. And this is what it's about. It's about our animals. This whole thing with Slither, do you think, you know, people are coming down on him because he's an asshole? Some people are. Those people are right. But that's not what the issue is. The issue is the animals. It's the approach. Now, a result of a lot of this stuff has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of arguing, A lot of people trying to settle some old scores. Excuse me. Girl, come on. Normally I would have cut that out. But she's going back in her enclosure because it's clear she's got too much energy for me to talk. Come on, sweetie. Come on, get all that butt in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take a break for a second, and we'll come back and talk some more. Okay, so the carpet python is a lot easier to talk with than that big girl. And this is another snake that kind of gets a bad reputation as being a little spicier than most. I mean, they're arboreal snakes, so they're going to be a little bit more active, a little bit more on point. But again, this is a sweet girl too. Anyway, make one quick point on the retic. I mean, you guys seen chasing her around. She's trying to get away. She's wanting to get out and run around. And, you know, all of the wrestling, all the jostling. The reason why I left that in there is just to show that, you know, our retics are energetic, but they're not mean. They're not vicious. Anything's gonna treat you just as well as you treat it ultimately. Believe me, I've learned that lesson firsthand from a lot of animals that weren't treated really well. She's such a sweet animal. But we've got this thing going on in the reptile community right now, where we've got one unscrupulous breeder that the community's just wanting to get out of reptiles. There's a lot of good reasons for that, and we've already went over that. I'm going to do a live stream later in the week, I think, for a Q&A. But that's not the part that concerns me the most. That's something that we can do. What concerns me the most is seeing people going after each other because now they think they've got a reason to do it. I mean, I've been fortunate. I haven't had anybody come at me. You know, I haven't had anybody really come out starting personal attacks and things like that. So this isn't about me. It's not me trying to defend myself. It's me watching people that have, you know, got a huge amount of experience. You know, people that would otherwise be really good for the hobby, and they're just being so much angst and bad blood over, you know, a mistake somebody made or a mistake somebody misconstrued or something like that. And, you know, this is one of those times where, you know, there's people in a reptile hobby that I completely despise, that I cut off, that I'll never talk to again. But it does nobody no good if I was to get on, start talking about them, start airing my grievances about somebody. Because somebody else may have a completely different experience. You know, that person may be able to go out, go to schools, educate kids, you know, help people in any number of ways. And just because I may have a problem with them doesn't mean that I need to slam them in front of everybody else. Now, I drew a distinction in that last video about, you know, things being personal and things being factual. It really is one of these times, man. I mean, this is one of those times that could potentially get a lot of attention. Yeah, this stuff could end up hitting the news, depending on what the situation is down there now. I don't know, but we never know what's going to happen tomorrow. When and if it does, the reptile community needs to be standing fast. We can't take people that are otherwise fairly decent folks and really rip them apart because of whatever little personal grievance there is. We all understand wanting things to be better, maybe disagreeing with somebody, disagreeing with what this person does. But, if it's not something as severe as what we're dealing with now, where the entire community needs to come together and get them out, we need to be careful with that stuff because we're all we got. I mean, nobody else is going to stand up for a community of people that keep 20-foot snakes other than the community of people that keep 20-foot snakes, man. It's not going to happen. We've got to have each other's backs. Doesn't mean we have to like everybody, but we at least got to be professional, got to be adults about it, I can tell you, I'm nobody in reptiles. I don't breed. I don't have some big million subscriber channel or anything like that. I'm not some big massive influencer. I'm just some dude that knows how to handle snakes and wants to help other people do the same thing. Maybe have a little bit of fun, put some stuff out there, share some animals with people. But my background is military, things along those lines. And I can tell you this much: there was people in my unit that I couldn't stand. Man, I hated them with a passion. And we'd be back in the rear, and whatever we're doing, inspections, prep, getting ready for training or something like that, even at training, just couldn't stand these guys at all. Just wanted to slap them as soon as I look at them. But you know what? As soon as it's boots down in the desert and we got a job to do and shit's blowing up around us, we're best friends because we're all we've got in that environment. It doesn't make any difference how you might feel about somebody, what that person might have said to you at some point. When bullets start bouncing off the ground, things start blowing up, you're best friends because you depend on each other for your life and you put that shit aside. Now, this is one of those times where there's legitimately something screwed up in the reptile community. There's something we're addressing. We're all addressing it. And you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Things could start blowing up around us. And whatever our issues are, we need to be best damn friends. We need to put our differences aside. And, if there's an issue with somebody, pick up the phone, call them, sort that shit out, and keep the rest of us out of it. We don't need it. We don't care about it. We're going to make our own decisions about people. We're going to gauge people based on our interactions, and we're not going to discard people because of the gossip mill. Okay? That's going to go a long ways, guys. It really is, because there's real fights out there to fight. So use our attention sparingly. We've got enough stuff going on. There's still always laws coming down the pipe. There's always going to be things that we got to get together on. And we got to stick together. I've had a couple people contact me over this thing. And I'm going to preface that by saying that, I tend to try and be pretty black and white with people. My moral compass is pretty well defined over years of experience in a whole lot of different situations, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. So it's not too terribly difficult for me to determine where the line is at. There's a line where people can be dealt with, overlooked, where things can be accepted, and then there's that line. And on the other side of that line is everybody else that doesn't matter, that gets zero attention, zero support, zero help. And it's not based on anything except what that person's actions are. Like I said before, those people I don't smear them, anything like that. It's not necessary. Now, it's been so incredibly busy for me here the last couple months. between work and it slowed down the videos that I've been putting out. I end up, here the last couple months only putting out stuff that's, really community oriented stuff that I just, feel that I have to address. So when I get past all of that, I want to start devoting my time to making more positive videos about the animals, start answering some of the questions that we've had come in and all those things. And so that's why we're gonna, I'm planning on doing a live stream with some guests here towards the end of the week, maybe this weekend. And we want to kind of put a bow on this whole Slither discussion. The information is out there, the pictures are out there, the verification's out there, the testimony's out there, and at this point, there's a really black and white line. You're on one side of it or the other, and there's no excuses. I've had a couple people contact me just because they know I don't have a reputation for just going after people because I enjoy it. I mention things as they absolutely need to be mentioned. Only call out names when it's absolutely necessary to mention them. So I've reassured some people that this stuff's legit, and you really need to pick which side of that line you're going to be on. Some good people, but again, good people aren't always really quick to throw stones, so it's going to take some people longer than others, but ultimately, that's what we got to do. This whole situation is one of those lines. You're either with the community on this side of the line, or you're against it, and you can jump on the boat with him and go down right along with him. There's no two ways about it, really, because this community's got too much at stake. We got too many good people in it who care about animals like this to, half step on this stuff and fight each other and all this other crap. Get past all that stuff, guys. This is what it's about. It's about these animals. Just like this. Just like Monty. Just like my prairie dogs that I got upstairs. They don't care what somebody said about you 5 years ago. They want to make sure that they're taken care of. They want to make sure they got heat. They want to make sure they got food and water. They want to make sure that they can get out and play. And wear me out trying to run all over the floor and escape. But the whole point of this, guys, is let's not forget why we're in the reptile community. The community's a bonus. The people around us are a bonus. This is why we're in it. We're in it for these guys. We're in it for the animals. And the best way we can look after them and ensure that we're able to keep them is to work together in the best interest of them. Not in the best interest of anybody's ego, not in the best interest of anybody's feelings, in the best interests of, keeping these animals that we love working with and sharing with people. So, I don't want to make this a really long video, but I think it was just something that needed to be said. If you guys got anything to say, man, the comments are always open, always appreciate it. Get down, like the video, get subscribed to the channel, help us grow. We've got membership programs, we've got a Patreon. All the links for all that stuff is down there. We got some, shirts and stuff like that for sale. You got the shop out here you guys can check out. But I'm not going to fight with anybody. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to try and reach more people. Continue to work with these animals. Continue to try and get a bigger place set up so I can get a little bit more of them. Expand what we talk about a little bit. And got a lot of good people on board with us here, so I'm confident that we'll get there. I'm not in a hurry, not rushing anything, but I really want to see the hobby thrive. I want to see keeping thrive. I want to see the animals thrive. So let's look at it like that and make things a little bit better every day. So you guys have an outstanding day, and we will see you next time on Intrepid Exotics.